Good morning, watch fans. This is Big Jim with the Big Giant Wrist. I'm still sporting my brand new G-Shock. It's freaking amazing. The B5000 titanium just came in the mail yesterday. The honeymoon period is definitely on. Excellent. Anyways, today I'm going to do what a lot of my YouTube friends have done. I'm going to talk about YouTubers who inspired me. And I'm going to start right off the bat with a non-watch guy. This guy is Nick Nimmin. I can't even pronounce it. Everyone gets it wrong. Nick does a very popular YouTube channel, talks about YouTube, the apps, the equipment, the personality, the background. He talks about everything you need to know about how to run a successful YouTube channel. I've been watching him for years, been around a while. And I use a couple of his recommended apps. I use TubeBuddy and I use Streamlabs. TubeBuddy is kind of like an overall analytic tool. It also generates keywords. It generates, tools you can use, recommends, analyzes your videos and your channel overall and tells you what you can do to make it better. It's an interesting app. I like it. And basically I've doubled my watch time and my watches, the amount of people who watch my stuff. I've doubled it by using TubeBuddy. Streamlabs is really just a streaming software. It allows you to have more control over streaming. It's not perfect, but it works on Mac and it works on a few other things. So, and I use my iPad for 90% of my YouTube stuff. So, my first watch guy that I never miss every time he comes up, Tennessee Mike. Hi Mike, how you doing, buddy? I like his videos. He's extremely honest. He's very forthright. He doesn't have a lot of subscribers, which is a real shame. I wish he had more because he has a really interesting views on things, and he's got, a very straightforward way of producing it, and I like it. He produces a lot of videos, just about one a day, sometimes two a day. It's short. He likes to keep it, to the point. Very much a Southern gentleman. I highly recommend Tennessee Mike. So, another small YouTuber with only 106 subscribers is Horology Insanity. He has got a really interesting take on things, very, very laid back, very easy to watch. His videos get quite a few views. He gets more views than I get by a long shot. And I like his videos. He and I's taste are very, very concise. He does a lot of watch content. He doesn't really talk about anything but watches. I'll talk about almost anything. But he keeps it right to the bone. One of the very first guys I ever watched on YouTube was Teddy Baldusar. He produces some of the highest quality videos on the internet. His stuff is unbelievable. His content is so worthwhile. I bought a Orient Bambino because of him. He was completely right. It's a great watch. Unfortunately, Teddy is a guy with a 6.5-inch wrist. He's a tiny guy. He's a normal person. He's not a gorilla like myself. And I'm a clumsy gorilla. On top of that, I scratched the daylights out of that watch in about 5 minutes because it has a plastic crystal. Beautiful watch. Keeps good time. Very pretty. Nice big blue dial. I had the blue version of that watch, and unfortunately I had to flip it because it was too easy to scratch. But he was dead on the money. I like Teddy. A lot of people like Teddy. He's one of those guys that people really, really enjoy watching. So Federico talks watches. Everybody knows Fed. He's another big guy, 8-inch wrist. He lives in Miami. He owns a watch shop. What the heck? I can't think of the name. I'll think of it in a minute. He owns a watch shop. Him and his buddy, John P. John P's had another good channel. But Fed's just a good guy. Got a really honest advice. He doesn't try to sell you anything. He tells you what he sells. He has what he has. And I like him. I like him a lot. Jody, just one more watch. Australian YouTuber, probably the only one I watch on a regular basis from Australia. He has so many watches on his channel. It's crazy. He's got one of the best, most infectious personalities on YouTube. Really outgoing, very entertaining, and he really focuses on the sub $500 watch category. And I bought a couple of Chinese watches because of him. None of them have been home runs, but I have bought a few, and they're not terrible watches. And he's been completely correct about all of them. Jody's a good one. He's a nice one. The Time Teller, Jory Goodman. out of LA, great watch guy. He also owns a watch shop that specializes in vintage and restored watches. His recommended watch repair guy is TikTok Watches out of LA. They currently have one of my watches. Great communication, fair price. They're fixing a watch that I personally broke, and based on his recommendation, and TikTok has a ton of positive reviews. So, Jory's a good guy. He puts out, again, great content. He does a lot of live streams. Very interesting. He's a little harsh, but I like harsh. I have no problem with harsh. Power lifter. I was a power lifter. He's a big boy. Very strong, physically very strong. Puts out a lot of good content. Not ashamed to show off his buff muscles. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. He's very, very honest and easygoing. And then of course we have Saline Driver. He's got 1,500 subscribers. Dane's an interesting dude. He drives a Saline Driver. It's a type of Mustang. It's a very cool car. He's a kind of a cool guy. He's an old guy like me. He has a very, very, very low tolerance for morons. I like it. Lives in Florida. Puts out a very good watch content. Puts out a live stream every Wednesday. He's an interesting guy. I highly recommend listening to him. And he makes a lot of friends online because he's still so straightforward. And of course, the big gorilla in the room, Random Rob. Rob is the reason why I'm doing a YouTube channel. When I was watching, when I was on YouTube years ago, I've been on YouTube since it started. Before it was even called YouTube, it was called Google Video. And I had about 6 videos up there on Google Video back 15 years ago. So when I was looking for a how-to video back in 2015 on how to do a transmission oil change on a Honda Pilot, this guy came up. He's got a Honda Pilot. He was doing transmission change. I think it was transmission oil change, transmission flush. And I clicked on his channel and realized he's a watch guy. Cool. So I found him through the transmissions. Very cool. And now I'm on his Patreon. I'm on Discord with him. I watch every video he's ever put out. I think I've seen his entire catalog at this point. He's got thousands of videos. His watch content is unparalleled in the breadth and depth in his knowledge of watches. Highly recommend Random Rob. He hit 40,000. Less than 3% of YouTubers hit 40,000, subscribers. Amazing. So Random Rob, good guy, very, very interesting. And I highly recommend him. And of course, me, I'm the small fish in the crowd. I'm the big wrist. And I appreciate your time listening to me rant about my favorite YouTubers, the ones who make me want to be a better YouTuber and where I get my ideas from. And this, of course, was Tennessee Mike. He came up with this first. This is the first one I saw was Tennessee Mike. So thanks, Mike. I appreciate your input on this. This has been Big Jim with the Big Wrist, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.